everybody, and yeah, sorry I haven't been around for a while. I've been very busy, doing a lot of research, doing a lot of studying, learning electronics, doing a lot of stuff, a lot of different things, trying to get my electronic engineering going up. But today we're going to talk about, is Bitcoin a bubble? And this is the biggest bubble that the world has ever seen. Okay, well, according to this Express, it's a publication from the United Kingdom, they say yes. They say it's the biggest bubble the world has ever seen. Now, for those of you who might not exactly be familiar with what a bubble is, you know, we've had a few. We had the housing market was a bubble. .com era was a bubble, and I mean the thing with bubbles, right, is that for the most part you can see through them, if that makes sense. You could tell when something's a bubble. It just doesn't make sense in your mind, right? How it'll be sustainable? How will this type of thing be sustainable? You know, for example, the .com era bubble. I mean, you got to really think about how will people buying up random domains, how is that sustainable? I mean, after the first few big ones get bought by a major corporation, for example, pizza.com, back in the 90s, Domino's, Pizza Hut, Papa John's, Little Caesars, that was a good selling point for somebody who had pizza.com. One of those major pizza corporations was probably willing to spend a lot of money to get that domain, and many big corporations in the 90s were, but once a certain amount of the domains are bought up, the jig's up. It's not sustainable. That was something that was pretty obvious, at least in my opinion, to see that wasn't sustainable. Housing market, for example. Housing market wasn't sustainable, not with the type of loans that they were giving out. These mortgage-backed security loans, they were bogus. Most of them were bogus. So, I mean, it was pretty obvious that at a certain point in time, when, somebody would ask for the money back, it was all going to collapse on its face, because, half of the loans that were being brought out were loans on money that nobody even had. And they were giving loans to people that they knew really didn't have any business of paying them back. There was really no proof that these people could pay these loans back. Now, I'm going to get into Bitcoin now. Okay, I didn't exactly read this article, but I think it's bullshit. But why is Bitcoin different? Number one, Bitcoin's a currency, right? This is money we're talking about. So, I mean, you would, I don't know. You would have to question, how is money a bubble? I've never heard anybody call a currency a bubble. Mind you, there's been a lot of people, a lot of these stock investors, a lot of these big banking agencies who are against Bitcoin, right? Because of the simple fact that they don't control it. And even if the conspiracy theory of Bitcoin being a CIA project, made for a honeypot to entice criminals online through the dark web, well, I gotta tell them, they don't control it. The the experiment went rogue. I don't know what else to tell them, because there really is no central body that controls Bitcoin, and there really is no agency that regulates it. That's why the IRS is very upset. That's why all these major banking industries are upset, or they've decided to buy in. They've decided to opt in. So, a lot of people are seeing Bitcoin hit ridiculous numbers. Let's see what it's at right now. It's a pretty high number right there. I mean, that's $17,000. It was at last month. It was at about 8,000. So I mean, it's skyrocketed. So the question comes in is, well, why is Bitcoin worth so much money? It's two reasons, honestly. Number one, the main reason is fiat currency, more specifically the United States dollar, is worthless, and it's been worthless for a very long time. Evidence of that is the stock market. The stock market should not, the prices of these stocks should not be this high. Okay, that's a tall tale sign right there. But I mean, all of these economic experts, quote unquote, they share their opinion on Bitcoin, and all of them are saying the bubble's gonna burst and there's gonna be this and that. But the problem is, these idiots don't realize, right? Or maybe they're conning the people. The fiat money is worthless anyway. The fiat money doesn't have a value. People's like, oh, where's Bitcoin's value come from? Bitcoin's value comes from the blockchain technology. That's the value of Bitcoin. Okay. Bitcoin's value comes in the blockchain. Okay. So basically, what that means is you have, this technology, these algorithms that pretty much verify transactions on the spot. When you transfer money, especially if you're doing it offshore or you're changing currencies, or you're moving a lot of stuff. You're moving a lot of money in and out of accounts. There's a lot of different agencies that have to check off on everything. There's a lot of middlemen that go through, and they charge you penalties, they charge you taxes, they charge you fees, they charge you everything. And this slows down the flow of the money. This slows up business. And, things like the stock market, once Wall Street closes trading, the stock market is shut down for the day. Bitcoin doesn't shut down ever, and it's globally being traded, and it has value worldwide. Okay, so you explain to me how a new technology, future technology that is going to be adopted by hospitals, banking agencies, military agencies, everything. Everybody's going to be adopting blockchain technology because automation's the future. Nobody's going to want to pay these guys to just sit around and do nothing and collect a check. I mean, it's time, and I'm glad that automation is here, because we got too many people in unions that they don't do anything, and they get paid like $40 an hour to sit around and do nothing. And it's time that we cut all that out, okay? Because in my humble opinion, there's no reason why the way that technology is now, there's no reason why capitalism or jobs or any of this stuff should exist. Okay, robots should be doing everything for us, and we should be focusing on advancing the human race. We should be focusing on cleaning up our oceans. We should be focused on cleaning up all the bullshit that capitalism and industrialization has all the destruction that has caused to this planet. We got to fix that. We need to have robots doing all the dirty work, and us focusing on how we're going to fix this planet and make it more beneficial for everybody. So, with that being said, the number 2 reason why Bitcoin is worth so much is because of the deep web. Okay? People are buying whatever. I mean, you've heard of Silk Road, you've heard of Alphabet, you've heard of all these places. Bitcoin is the number 1 currency traded on these things. Sometimes they use Monero or Zcash and, a few other things. But Bitcoin is the standard cryptocurrency. And let me tell you this, it's not going anywhere anytime soon. In fact, expect this to replace the dollar in terms of spending power. In terms of what has the majority of spending power, expect either either Bitcoin or maybe Ripple or some other currency, maybe Ethereum, to replace the dollar as the strongest spending power in this country. Wait for it. It will happen. And let me show you why, okay? We're going to go to CoinGecko. It's a few cryptocurrencies. All right. So you see Bitcoin, or 17,872. It's a lot. I mean, it's going up. It's going up. Look at the market cap. That's trillions of dollars. Trillions of dollars in liquidity. I mean, this thing is huge. This thing is bigger than most governments, okay? Bitcoin is bigger than the majority of governments' budgets put all together. This thing is huge, all right? And another thing is you need Bitcoin to buy these other currencies, with an exception of Ethereum and Litecoin. Okay, for the most part, you cannot buy these cryptocurrencies. You cannot trade cryptocurrencies without having Bitcoin. Bitcoin is how you buy these other cryptocurrencies, and Ethereum is on a different level now. Okay, you got the Russian government saying that they're thinking about making Ethereum, this right here, their currency, their national currency. And look how much one of it is worth per US dollar. All right, almost $700. I'm expecting this to be close to $1,000 before the year is even over. All right, definitely gonna hit 800 before this year is over. All right, I would probably stay away from Ripple if you are going to invest in anything, although this has skyrocketed recently. Ripple is controlled by the big global banks. Ripple is the version of cryptocurrency that is regulated by big banks and by a global elite. So I would stay away from it. I would only invest in it off the sheer strength that this possibly could be the global currency. This possibly could be the one that they pick that everybody uses. I would suggest you check out Monero. All right, but you need to have Bitcoin to even buy Monero. All right, you have to have Bitcoin to buy anything that isn't Litecoin, Ether, and obviously Bitcoin. I mean, yeah, you could trade Bitcoin with dollars. All right, I'd also suggest people check out Neo. Neo is pretty cool. That's an up and coming one. I'm considering investing in that. And I mean, IOTA, I'm a little iffy on IOTA. Cardano, that's another one coming up. But anyway, back to the whole focus of all of this. Bitcoin is not a bubble. And the thing is, these investors keep thinking in terms of stock. They keep thinking of terms of concepts and commodities that they've seen before. And this is nothing they've ever seen before. This is a whole different animal. And I'll even be honest with you guys. I thought $12,000 was the bubble bursting point. And now I've realized the errors of my way. Okay, Bitcoin isn't going anywhere. It is here to stay. And the proof in that is how much these other cryptocurrencies are worth, and the fact that you can't even buy them without Bitcoin. You can't even buy Monero without Bitcoin. You can't buy Dash without Bitcoin. You can't buy Neo without Bitcoin. You can't buy any of this stuff without Bitcoin. Now, I would say don't go into Bitcoin as an investment right now. I would say use Bitcoin as a currency to buy other stuff. And if you want to make investments, if you want to do Forex type investments, buy them with Bitcoin. Use Bitcoin to buy these other cryptocurrencies, and you can make, potentially you can make flips if you still desire to trade in the fiat. Okay, because I'm telling you, there's going to be a point in time where the fiat money is worthless. When the economic reset happens, the fiat currency will pretty much be worthless. All right. So, as far as bubbles go, this is nothing we've seen before, right? This. All right. So basically, it's like saying, is the U.S. dollar a bubble? Is the Japanese yen a bubble? And the answer to that is obviously no. This is how people do commerce. So a currency can't be a bubble. All right. This isn't some kind of Ponzi scheme. This isn't any of that type of stuff. Now, people don't understand why Bitcoin is worth anything because they don't understand blockchain technology. All right. And basically, blockchain technology is going to be a utility similar to how the internet pretty much has become a utility, although net neutrality is trying, the repeal of that is trying to scale that back. Although I don't think that's really going to be that big of a deal. Unless the propaganda about them charging $17 for you to go on YouTube and then $20 for you to go on Twitter, and then you have to sign into your account to even verify that you've paid your subscription fee. Let's just hypothetically say that happens and that's a reality. This country will spiral into a civil war the second that happens. This country, and I mean, really, this planet is addicted to social media. I won't even hold you guys. I mean, I had to recently deactivate my Facebook. I was spending way too much time on it. I mean, look, people will go to war over this stuff, and I promise you that. Now, people keep saying, "Oh, what's gonna make the millennials, get up and stop being so sensitive?" Take away social media, make it expensive. Put a price on it. I promise you, that will be the straw that breaks the camel's back. That will get millennials and the younger generation up in arms and violent. I promise you that. I'm not mincing words when I say this. That will result in a violent civil war if these ISPs think they could pull something off like that, which they won't, because they know better than that. And I mean, there was somebody that did a bomb threat at the FCC hearing when they were voting to repeal net neutrality. And I mean, look, I think that's going overboard. Honestly, there's no reason to, pull domestic terrorism off of the prospect of corporations doing that. Okay. But if corporations do try that, I mean, I don't think they're prepared for the backlash of that. Just imagine, all right, you got to pay $20 a month to just get on YouTube. That's not even including you going on Facebook. You got to pay a different fee for Facebook, different fee for Twitter, different fee for Instagram. I mean, that's what this propaganda is saying. I highly doubt that that's what's going to be happening, because that just goes against the interests of these groups. But I do think there's going to be a lot of slowdown in innovation because of this, because there are going to be select few ISPs that will decide that that's the route they want to take. But like I said, coin you guys want to check out, if you do decide to invest into cryptocurrencies, I think Monero is going up. I've been looking at this thing since it was at $60. That was 2 months ago. It was at $60. It's at 310 right now. Okay. And yeah, I'm kind of kicking myself for not investing in it earlier. I still haven't invested in it yet, but I will, because I think this is also part of the future, just because of the technology it uses. It's very secure. There's rings of encryption to ensure that there isn't any funny business going on, and it hides your identity, which is why the ransomware attacks, they were accepting Monero. And that's another reason why it's worth a lot of money too, is this is another currency that's used in the deep web. Okay. But look, just think about it. Just think about if somebody wrote an article saying that a form of currency was a bubble. I mean, it would be laughed at. And I mean, these guys, these stock guys, right? They keep saying Bitcoin's gonna crash at this price, it's gonna crash at that price, it's gonna fall on this day, and every time it looks like it's falling and it's going to go into free fall, it's like holding a beach ball in the water. You know what I'm saying? The further you go down with it, the deeper you hold it down, the longer you hold it down, the higher it shoots up. And that's basically what Bitcoin's been doing. And I expect Bitcoin to hit 20,000 by February of 2018. I expect Bitcoin to be at 20,000 by February 2018. Most likely before. I'm not going to say 20,000 by the end of this year, 18,000 for sure by the end of this year, barring any big splits or any big downfalls of the currency, which I don't see happening anytime soon. I mean, they kept threatening to do the split, which I think would really derail the exponential growth that we've been seeing, but I do think it will resume, right? Now, what does this say about the US dollar and what spending power it has? Look, if you have only liquid assets and cash, reconsider it. Alright, it's not smart to have all this cash in the bank. You need land. You need commodities. Alright? You need to invest in these type of things. Not even to make more money. Alright? It's just smart to have these things to fall back on the off chance that the dollar goes the way that the Zimbabwe dollar did, or the way that the Deutschmark did in the Weimar Republic, where people are weighing money, they're not even counting it. And you have $100 trillion bills that are worth $5 US dollars, you know? It just doesn't make sense to me, right? And I mean, there's people are buying homes and cars with bitcoins. Do you even understand the implications of that? People are buying real assets with bitcoins, and these companies are gladly accepting bitcoins. Okay, the acceptance of the bitcoin combined with the blockchain technology that will be the utility for verification in the future, because automation is here to stay, folks. And I think that's a good thing. I used to always think like, oh, it's bad. I mean, when you think in a capitalistic sense, it's bad. People are going to lose jobs. But these are jobs that don't advance humanity. They don't do anything for anybody. It's just people sitting around and just doing something for a check. It's slavery. It's slavery, all right? These people could be doing other stuff. They should be catering to the creative side, to whatever. You know what I'm saying? There's plenty of guys that work at factories that, I mean, I'm sure they would rather be building up their supercar. I'm sure they would rather be painting. I'm sure they'd rather be doing a whole bunch of other stuff, which they should be doing instead of working a factory job. Okay? And it's crazy to me that anybody who works those type of jobs would want to dispute that. Like, really? You want to sit here bored, waiting for the weekend? Ruining every Monday morning? Mondays are going to be terrible to you and you're going to anticipate Fridays? That's no way to live. That's a terrible way to live. Okay? No human being should live that way. And that's the reality that we have in capitalism. That's the reality we have in the situation we're in now. Okay? And automation is here to stay, folks. Barring any type of catastrophe with solar flares, alright? Now, solar flares go crazy and they let off EMPs to the point where we can't work with electronics. Alright, you got way more to worry about than a Bitcoin bubble or any of that stuff. You got way more to worry about than that. Okay? So, long story short, in my humble opinion, Bitcoin is not a bubble. It is here to stay. If you're tired of an uneven playing field, a disparity of wealth in this nation, look into automation, cryptocurrency, and all this stuff. Alright, this is the future. If you keep thinking in terms of the past, you keep thinking in terms of like, oh my god, what are we gonna do? Oh, especially black people here in America, always getting the short end of the stick. We getting shitted on for centuries. Okay, the time is now to get out of this. All right, automation, artificial intelligence, cryptocurrencies. All right, we gotta stop thinking in this fear-based, superstitious conspiracy. All right, about these type of technologies. We gotta stop that, because that's gonna keep us out of liberation. And that should be the foremost goal of anybody, is to get out of this oppressive system, to make our world the way it's supposed to be. Because everybody likes to say, oh yeah, it's better to live here than live in a place where you got child soldiers kicking in your door, or you live in the middle of the desert and there's no food, there's no government assistance, there's none of that stuff. You're just left out on your own in the middle of nowhere to fend for yourself. But the world doesn't have to be that way, and it never should have been that way. It doesn't make sense for us to continue to go in this way when we know we can do better. All right, so let's do better. Let's stop, you know, accepting low standards and accepting that our low standards are above someone else's low standards. All right, we gotta stop settling. That's what the baby boomers did, and we gotta stop that. All right, that's the reason why we're in this position we're in today. A whole bunch of settling. Okay, so let's stop doing that and let's start inventing. You know what I'm saying? I keep saying this. I keep saying this. Invent. All right, these cryptocurrencies, a lot of them can be mined. So you could set up a computer to extract these cryptocurrencies for you. Okay, it's really, you know, it's really an open playing field. There's an even playing field now, where if you work hard enough, okay, now this is, you know what I'm saying? It's now is the time where if you work hard enough, you can get what you want. All right, we can transcend all this garbage now. All right, before we didn't have that we didn't have that free of an opportunity where there was people actively denying you, saying no, you can't have a loan, no, you can't have a home, no, you can't do this. And then obviously that's still going on, but artificial intelligence, cryptocurrencies, automation, this evens the playing field because there's people are too lazy to look into the stuff themselves. They'd rather the easy way out. They'd rather the 9 to 5, hand them the paycheck, even though they're bored to shit at work. All right, there's people that they make $50,000 a year, and they don't do anything. They don't even do their job. They sit there and they watch ESPN all day. All right, and that's the detriment to the forwarding of the human race as a whole. You know what I'm saying? Definitely a detriment to the planet because this waste and this parasitic behavior is killing the planet. All right, is destroying the planet, and we as black people, we want liberation, and now is the time to get it. And you know, I don't hate nobody at all, but my forefront mission in life is for black people to be liberated, and once that happens, I think the world will correct itself. That's my humble opinion. I don't think that there is some kind of evil conspiracy for us to go and redo what was done to us. You know what I'm saying? We don't have that desire. That's not a desire we have. We just want to be left alone with what we rightfully deserve because we know deep inside, if we are given the proper opportunity, we can have everything that we lack or that we seem to lack, because we really don't lack. It's an illusion. It's us buying in to falsehood, all right? Because we've always had the know-how and the willpower to get out of this. But it took, you know, honestly till now for it to be pretty much slapping us in the face, okay? So let me just cut this build short right now, all right? Bitcoin is not a bubble, and I wouldn't exactly say invest in it. Use it as a currency because it's not going anywhere anytime soon. And these other cryptocurrencies aren't going anywhere anytime soon. And when capitalism, the stock market, and the fiat bubble pop, when that bubble pops, because that's definitely a bubble. I mean, it's pretty obvious. It's like, okay, you're buying stocks with fake money. You're printing fake money at a whim. It's monopoly money. At a certain point, the debt's got to catch up. All right, you know, somebody's gonna ask for their money back, and when that happens, somebody's gonna lose. And when that somebody loses, a few people will win. It's gonna be more people losing than people winning. So, if you don't want that to be your situation, I suggest you do something about it. And you know what I'm saying? I'm not telling you to put all of your money into cryptocurrency. That'd be a bad idea. Okay? Never put all your eggs in one basket. But I'm saying, please get things like land, like metals, like something that will always have a value no matter what. No matter if the dollar's worth zero, no matter if a catastrophe happens, no matter what. Alright? There's things that you can have in your possession that will always have value no matter what. Land is one of them. Food is another thing. Fresh water is another one, okay? There's just so many to just name. Good health. Invest in your health. Invest in whatever you have to invest. But don't worry or focus solely on getting those greenbacks. They're worthless. Okay? They're absolutely worthless. And it's taken until now for people to realize that. And that's one of the reasons why Bitcoin is worth almost $18,000. So with that, signing out. Hopefully I make another video.